Here's a question that might blow your mind. What if I told you that the most powerful leaders in the world often have no official title, no corner office, and no one reporting to them? Think about it. Gandhi wasn't a president. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't a CEO. Rosa Parks wasn't a manager. Yet they moved mountains and changed history. They understood something most of us miss. Leadership isn't about your position on an org chart. It's about your ability to influence, inspire, and create positive change regardless of your job title. But here's what's really wild. You probably think you need permission to lead. You're waiting for someone to promote you, to give you the authority, to hand you the keys. Meanwhile, opportunities to lead are passing you by every single day. Let me paint you a picture. You're in a team meeting, and everyone's talking in circles about a problem that's been dragging on for weeks. You have an idea, a solution that could actually work, but you stay quiet because you think, I'm not the manager, it's not my place. Sound familiar? Or maybe you're the newest person on your team, and you notice a process that's clearly broken. Everyone just accepts it as the way we've always done things, but you can see a better path. Yet you keep your mouth shut because you don't want to overstep. Here's another one. You're working on a project with colleagues, and it's heading toward disaster. The timeline's unrealistic, communication is terrible, and nobody wants to address the elephant in the room. But since you're not officially in charge, you just go along with it, watching everything fall apart. We've all been there. We've all had moments where we could have stepped up, spoken up, or taken initiative, but we didn't because we thought leadership was reserved for people with fancy titles. But here's what psychology teaches us about influence and leadership. It's not about authority, it's about authenticity. It's not about power over people, it's about power with people. Real leadership is about earning trust, building relationships, and creating value, not demanding compliance. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said something profound. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." That's the essence of leading without authority. You create change so naturally, so collaboratively, that people feel ownership of the results. Modern research backs this up. Studies show that informal leaders, those without official titles, often have more influence than formal managers. Why? Because people choose to follow them. There's no coercion, no job security hanging in the balance, just pure influence built on trust and competence. Think of leadership like being a lighthouse. You don't control the ships, you don't force them to follow you, you simply shine your light consistently, and ships naturally navigate toward you because you provide value, guidance, and safety in uncertain waters. So how do you become that lighthouse? Let me tell you about Marcus, a software developer who transformed his entire company culture without ever getting a promotion. Marcus started small. In meetings, when tensions ran high, he'd be the one to pause and say, let's take a step back. What problem are we really trying to solve here? He didn't wait for permission, he just started facilitating better conversations. When a new colleague joined the team and seemed overwhelmed, Marcus took initiative. He created a simple onboarding guide, shared it with HR, and suddenly it became the standard for all new hires. He saw a need and filled it, no questions asked. Here's the key. Marcus understood that leadership begins with self-leadership. You can't inspire others if you're not inspired yourself. You can't guide others if you're not clear on your own direction. So he started by being impeccable with his own work, his own commitments, his own attitude. The second principle Marcus mastered was becoming a problem solver, not a problem pointer. Anyone can complain about what's wrong. Leaders come with solutions. When he noticed the team struggling with communication, he didn't just grumble about it. He researched collaboration tools, presented options, and volunteered to implement the solution. Third, Marcus became a bridge builder. He noticed that the design team and development team rarely talked, which led to constant friction. So he started having informal coffee chats with designers, learning their perspectives, and then sharing insights with his fellow developers. He became the translator between worlds. But here's where it gets interesting. Marcus also learned to lead by asking better questions instead of giving orders. When someone brought him a problem, Instead of telling them what to do, he'd ask, "What do you think would work best here?" Or, "What would success look like to you?" He empowered people to find their own answers while providing guidance. The fourth strategy was leading by example, not by exception. When deadlines were tight, Marcus stayed late, but he never made a big show of it. When mistakes happened, he took responsibility for his part without throwing anyone under the bus. When celebrations were in order, he made sure others got the credit. And here's something beautiful that happened. Within a year, people naturally started coming to Marcus for advice, for direction, for leadership, even though he had the same job title as before. His managers started involving him in strategic decisions. Other departments began requesting his input on projects. Marcus had become what I call an influence multiplier. He wasn't just doing his own job well, he was making everyone around him better. And that's when real leadership happens, when your influence ripples outward and creates positive change beyond yourself. The most powerful part of Marcus's transformation wasn't that he eventually got promoted, though he did. It was that he discovered something life-changing. You don't need to wait for permission to make a difference. You don't need a title to add value. You don't need authority to have influence. Leadership is a choice, not a position. It's something you do, not something you are. Every day, you have countless opportunities to lead, to influence, to inspire positive change in your little corner of the world. Maybe it's speaking up in that meeting with a solution instead of staying silent. Maybe it's mentoring a colleague who's struggling. Maybe it's taking initiative on a project that everyone else is avoiding. Maybe it's simply being the person who brings positive energy and clear thinking to every interaction. Here's what I want you to remember. The world doesn't need more managers. It needs more leaders. And leadership isn't something that happens to you, it's something that flows through you when you decide to step up and serve others. So here's your challenge for today. Look around your workplace, your community, your family. Find one small problem you could solve, one person you could help, one process you could improve. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Just step up and lead. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button, because every week we explore practical ways to unlock your potential and create positive change in your world. Remember, leadership isn't about the size of your office. It's about the size of your impact. What small act of leadership will you choose today?